Hello, who's here? Say hello. Oh gosh, this is wobbling so much. Sorry, I think I'm gonna have to change the way. Let me do something different here. Let's see if I can do that. Will it stay? Kind of figuring this stuff out while I'm on the go here. How are you? Who's here? You are the first. Hey, Camel. Yeah, you're the first one here. I didn't, because since I'm doing this from my phone, I don't have like a, let's see if that'll work. It gives me a little bit of light. Hi, Misty. How are you? I'm not in my house. I'm in not my regular setup. Hang on just a second. And so I'm just trying to figure this out on the fly. And then go to my channel here. Let me turn this down so I can read the comments a little bit easier, comment from here. How is everybody? Sorry I haven't been going live. It's just been a little weird, and my family is, one of my daughters is here, and then the other two are at an amusement park with my husband. Hi, Regine. I think I'm gonna do it this way. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I can message back from, yes, it's Thursday. I'm not normally live, but I feel bad because I haven't been live in a couple weeks. And so yeah, that's what we're doing today. Where's the link? I'm gonna type it here. So I can't, when I do it from my phone, it doesn't let me copy and paste the description. Hi, Buggy. Oops, give me a second. And then someone paid for a reading earlier, and I don't remember who it was, so I just have to look in the thing. Let me see if that works. I missed you too. I saw, you know what's funny is Regina, I commented on somebody's things. Okay, that link should work. That should be in the comments. And then I will pin it. Oops. Let me see if I can pin it from here. No, I can't. Okay, let me go back. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Hi, Trayvon. I'm good. How are you? I'm just trying to figure out how to pin my thing. If it'll let me. There we go. It's just a little different than on my computer. Okay. So I pinned the link. Hi, Amy. How are you? Let me see. To go back to that. Sorry, this is just different because I don't have my laptop with me. I didn't feel like traveling with it. Let me just see. It'll show me here. Okay, I've got a payment from. Everything is pretty good here. We're on vacation for the week, and I haven't done. We had like my husband and two of my daughters got COVID, and then so my mom's vacation transferred, and then I didn't do any readings, and then we got here and I was just too tired and we were doing stuff. So I thought I would do readings now while they're kind of out. I see your name. I don't need your first name. I just usually I'm good with people's screen names. I don't need anything. Hi, CB. So and then this Sunday I'm not going to be on at the regular time at 4 o'clock. I'm going to be on in the morning because apparently Jaws is back in the theater, and hang on, I've got a little, okay, Jaws is back in the theater, and my husband wants to go see it, so we're all going to see it in the afternoon, so I won't be live then. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna have to find a little pencil. We went mini golfing the other day, and I got 7 holes in one. So I don't know that I'll ever do better than that again, but I was pretty proud of myself. And we went to a water park, and we've gone to the beach a few times and found I was so impressed with all the shells we found. So, okay. Let's see, who wants to go? I've got Mariana and Misty. Oh, let me try and put the list up. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Trayvon. 7 is a lucky number. It is indeed. Okay, there we are. Yes, J.A., I got you. Is my Kundalini awakened? Well, I don't know. I suppose so if I'm doing this work. Thank you, Trayvon. It's wet right now. I went out for a long walk on the boardwalk before doing these. Okay, Mariana, I've got you. Misty, I've got you. And Jeep, I've got you for payments. I know, Trayvon, I know. What sounds personal? J.A., I got your payment. So I'm gonna make the list right now. Let me type it in. So it's for services. It's $12, and then I take 30% of that money and I donate it to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey because food scarcity is real. And every dollar provides 3 meals, and so a little goes a long way. This is the only place, this is the cheapest you'll get a reading from me. And I don't know. So I consider it services. I think that I think you don't work for free. Nobody should be working for free. This is, even though these are, I don't consider what I do gifts. I think that's interesting when people say it's a gift from God, because then it's your ability to be an attorney or a doctor, is that nobody considers that a gift. It's a skill. And I have a lot of natural ability, much like a professional athlete. But I also have honed my skills and my ability to trust and connect with your energy and source energy. So, and I think everybody should be paid for those skills that they've honed and worked on. So Mariana, what's your question? Oh, so there's a pinned comment of mine. It should be at the top, and it's the PayPal link that you can. Am I frozen? Let's see. Okay, there. I'm just making sure because I'm following along on my iPad so that I can type easier, because I can't do it on my phone. Oh, how to categorize the payment. It's services. Here's the thing, if anybody just freaks out, they're like, oh my God, I need it. You end up, if you run your business, because it's a business for me, I pay my taxes, and then I just take any fees that I pay for PayPal or our tax write-off at the end of the year. It's there's a ton of places down on the shore here where they charge you extra if you're using a credit card, which is silly to me. I'm they're just, because they can write off those fees. That's a cost of doing business. So I'm not really sure why they're charging you extra, because it's not going to come back to them really. Kind of a scam, quite frankly. All right, my daughter Sasha decided, and thank you for clarifying that, because sometimes my brain doesn't process quite quickly enough. My daughter Sasha decided to stay in England very last minute. She doesn't have a job yet, but in talks with a company in London. Any insights as to the potential employer very soon? Yeah, hold on 2 seconds. I forgot this. Okay, sorry. I forgot I bought new rocks here. There's a really great rock store by where I'm staying. But I forgot to bring my smoky quartz with me because I normally like to hold my comfort rock while I read. I don't need to, I just prefer it. Pavlov's dog, I guess. I'll do a little clearing spray too. Y'all, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Oh my good Lord. Come on. When I get the defective bottle, I'll have to put it in a new bottle. All right, we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it and call it a day. Okay. Oh, she also needs a place to stay. Okay. Sasha, all right. Sorry, something's making noises. Okay. Something for, I feel like for the employer, I'm actually getting 9/9, September 9th. I know that's really specific, but I feel like she'll hear by something by then. And I feel like it's almost through either somebody she knows, it's a connection. It's not necessarily through, a want ad. I feel like it's through somebody she knows. And I don't know if that person has a connection to if she's literally going to be working in a bakery or some sort of food establishment, or if she's because I don't feel like she's sitting at a desk. Or if so I'm putting it this way because I'm like, I don't know if it's like literal, like she'll be in this food establishment, or if it's something that has to do with it. Because like one time one of my friends asked me about a new job she was getting, and I was like, are you gonna be, she's worked in corporate marketing, and I was like, are you gonna be, anyway, you're changing jobs to work like in a preschool? Because I see you walking up and down the aisles of a preschool. She ended up picking up a job with a large Montessori system doing their marketing. So she wasn't literally in a preschool, but I don't know what AQ is. So if you could stop spamming the chat, that'd be really nice, or I'm going to block you. Okay? Thank you. It would be an agency. So maybe the agency will have something to do with like having like a connection to this like bakery. Maybe they do marketing for it or something like that. I don't know. Artists and musicians. I don't know then. Because I see like a, the first thing I saw was like a bakery, and then I saw like glass cases and lighter colored wood on the cases. And then it just felt like the lighting in there was really bright. It's on top of a McDonald's. I don't know, is it lighter wood with like bright lighting in it? I mean, it could be. Honest to God, it really could be. What's the name of, I mean, is it okay for you to tell me the name of the place? Is it like Baker and something? She'll be able to find a place to stay. I feel like she'll rent a room, so she won't necessarily be like, but she'll rent a room in a flat with like a few other girls. It'll freeze when I go to just see who made a payment, so just be patient with that. Oh, stop. Oh my God. Do you ever have it where you plug your phone into certain types of cords and there are little a-holes about it? Okay. All right. Misty, what's your question? I really want to figure this thing out. I literally just bought it. I wonder if she's just got too much stuff in this bottle. It smells lovely. I might have to bring it back and just tell her it's not working. General question, whatever I feel. Okay. I really wish this would work. I don't know if you can, you totally can't see, but there's like so much stuff in this. Maybe you can. See how much stuff she put in this bottle? It's got like Florida water. Sorry, I'm being a little bit of a turd here. I just want to figure out if there's like something wrong with the sprayer or the sprayer's broken. Anywho, that's disappointing. Okay, Misty, we'll get to you. All right, what does Misty need to know today? So the first thing I'm noticing is I feel really tight in my jaw here. This is my right side, and then right above my eyebrows, like pressure. I almost feel like off center. Are you having sinus issues? And it's called Sacred Smudge Spray, and it's got. I really should get my reading glasses. I have them here. Let me see if it says what it's in it. I know I read it. Florida water, clear quartz infused moon water, Palo Santo oil, white sage oil, lavender oil, dragon's blood oil, peppermint oil. It's handmade, sacred intention. It smells really good, but it's not spraying. The pollen is awful. Okay, okay. So I'm trying, but the little spray thing isn't working. So I'm sure I have. Wait a second. Give me 2 seconds. I packed a sage bottle that I had on my own, but I guess I don't. It's not where I thought it was, and I'm not gonna spend forever looking for it. Okay, Misty, so let's look at you. I'm also feeling like really anxious in this is like my solar plexus chakra. That's how I relate to the world, how the world relates to me and my self-esteem. And really tight in that area too, but I feel like that's more. So they're talking to me about changes coming up. I feel like it's like you're preparing for these changes, like you're expecting them to happen. And I almost feel like you're expecting the worst because they're showing me a song called Fire and Ice. I feel like this is big changes in your house is the feeling I'm getting. And the feeling I'm getting is that you're envisioning the worst, preparing for the worst. And they said, well, it's going to be a little bit bumpy. It's not going to be nearly what you're expecting. And so they're sort of saying, remember that you need to shift your mindset. And instead of visualizing the worst, visualize the best possible outcome. Hi, Baseman, how are you? I'm not usually on during the week. I haven't done a stream on a Sunday in a couple weeks, and I'm not going to be able to on my regular time on Sunday, so I just wanted to kind of make sure that I still keep myself out there. Misty, does this make sense of expecting changes coming in? This feels like around the house, around your home. Is there, I'm saying, I hate asking it as a question, but the feeling is around relationship. Like maybe a divorce is coming or a separation, something like that. It just feels like, it feels something big like that. I guess when I look at moves, and maybe other people look at moves differently. Oh, well, that's a problem. I'm sorry to hear that. That's a lot of money to spend. I'm not laughing at you or your situation. You don't need to spend that money on a Doge car. I mean, there certainly are some other great options for electric cars. My daughters, they call the, what are the trucks? The Tesla trucks? I don't know. They call them they think they look like they're from Minecraft, which they really do. So, I'm assuming this created a lot of issues between the two of you. I don't know that this is going to mean you're going to get divorced. I want to say that very clearly. But it feels like a big, it's going to cause more impact than your husband is really aware of. So the feeling I get is like, it's not going to be as bad as you think. Try to imagine or, visualize a better outcome. I don't even know if this is possible, but is there any way he'd be returning the car in like either 2 to 3 weeks or 2 to 3 months? Because I almost feel like a return. I also feel like he's very dismissive of the way you feel about it. I have to be honest with you. And I don't feel like he really understands. So I think he doesn't understand that it's like it's a small symptom of a bigger issue he has that he's not willing to really look at. This is on one of those like little gimbal things. I'm trying to move it so it faces. Yeah. I wish I could say he'll do the inner work. I just don't think he will, to like understand and be more like a better communicator. I'm sorry. And the feeling I get is like it's not like you don't have the money, but as you said, it's like it's not a necessary expense. It's so strange to me when people, because I'm not saying it's all men or anything like that, like just people in general, where they refuse to like just try to see things from somebody else's point of view. That's just a strange thing to me, to like not, you don't have to say that you're, he doesn't have to be like, you're right and I'm wrong. I think he doesn't understand that. My sense is it's more about just like he's very black and white in his thinking with things, and that if he were to even just acknowledge that maybe it was a bonehead move, then somehow he's saying you're right and he's wrong, and he doesn't like to be wrong. He doesn't like to admit he's wrong, and apologies are very difficult for him. And I know it's exhausting for you. Do you have a little boy? Because I keep getting shown like a little boy, and this curiosity and wonder if like, from your part, if like he's gonna turn out like dad. And I don't think that you think your husband is evil, but he has his shortcomings. And the feeling I get is like, no, because he sees the way, he actually sees how his father is. Yeah. And he doesn't like the way he acts. And if you're wondering what I'm doing when I'm looking down, I'm just doodling on my little tiny. Did I freeze? Oh, there, I see. Okay. I do wonder at times if I'm doing enough parenting to make up for the bad stuff. Yeah, I mean, the thing I notice with my kids especially is not that they pay attention to my words as much as they pay attention to my actions. So my kids, like, we don't gossip about people. We don't talk about the way people look or anything else. And so they don't do that. They don't, like, it's not something that they do with their friends. It's not something that that I know of. Even my daughter is like, she's very, my one who's who's in middle school is very observant of like wanting to make sure people's feelings are okay. And I always remind her that like there's a balance between being a people pleaser and then also being aware. Like I was like, you can't always protect everybody else's feelings, like especially at your own expense. But I do feel like he'll see it. I do feel like actually he's getting to the point where he's going to make fun of your husband in many ways to his face, like just for being a bonehead. But he sees. a lot of it is just providing examples of how to be kind and acknowledge his own feelings, because feelings don't always make sense. They're just feelings. It's just energy and motion, right? And they don't always make sense. In fact, most of the time they don't make sense. But just acknowledging and starting to treat him that way will help him feel comfortable with feelings and acknowledge and process them. A big part of the reason your husband is the way he is, I keep feeling like his mom being very dismissive of his feelings growing up and who he is as a person. She's not an easy mother-in-law for you. I do know that. I don't feel his father as present. I feel like they're showing me his mom, and I just don't feel, so I don't know if dad is already passed or, and I know you'd be like, psychic medium, you should pick up if they're passed or not, but sometimes I just don't. It's not part of the story they're sharing with me. His parents are terrible people. Yeah. Does his dad have something wrong with his legs? Maybe I am. Or just, maybe it's not as important to the story, or maybe sometimes they'll put them in the background because they're not, even though they're a problem, they weren't the main influence that created the problem that he grew up with. 16 seems an important age. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know if you're going to divorce your husband or not. But like 16 for your son seems an important age. It is so quiet in this house. I think because I normally have, maybe that's what's making me, I normally have like the noise of my dehumidifier and air purifier in my basement, and it's so quiet in here that I'm like, I feel off. Okay, let's move on to Jeep for his question. This smells so good. I wish that I could spray it. Very disappointed. I'm gonna have to bring it back over there and ask to get a different one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, I don't think of it that much. I don't normally do readings from these places, which is fine. It's more about the sound than anything. I can do readings anywhere. Truly. You're very welcome. Hang in there. I would look up, what is the type of attachment? I'll think of it. It'll come to me and I'll tell you what to look up and kind of, it's easy, like, there are some narcissistic tendencies. Like, I feel like he's pretty selfish for your husband, Misty. But there's also, it's avoidant attachment. That's what it is. Look that up. And I just feel like you're at the point where you're sort of over it, to be honest with you. Okay, Jeep. Lots of things happening in my life coming months. You want a general reading? Okay. I keep getting like a lot of repetitive thoughts around you. Like it feels like a hamster wheel, like it's just over and over and over and over in my head. Because even as I'm talking, I can still, so my question was like, what does Jeep need to know in this moment? And like, it went on this, like, instead of being quiet, like after I asked the question, it was like this skipped record player where it just keeps asking that over and over and over again. And even as I'm talking to you, I'm hearing that in the background. And I feel like that's sort of where you're at. It's just like these worries constant over and over and over. There's all these weird noises. Yeah. And so it's even in the background as I'm doing something else and trying to focus on something else that's still there. I mean, there's things you can do to help kind of calm that. I know there's different like mushroom type things like lion's mane and reishi that help. Like I take lion's mane to help with my sensory dysregulation that happens when I'm like out, especially for ice skating. It's helpful. So like then when like people are, because I have a lot of like auditory sensory stuff. So like when people are cutting across the ice, I don't like that doesn't just throw me off into like a tizzy. Like it doesn't throw me to tizzy, but like my brain goes, oh my God, something's happening. Lion's mane mushroom. So vitamin, I know this is like, I also feel like there's like vitamin deficiencies for you, like vitamin D, and your B vitamins, that's be beneficial for that. October seems significant for you. I see packing, no, it's not legal. I actually feel like packing, like I'm traveling somewhere. It feels like maybe the third week of October. Are you planning a trip? 'Cause I see a suitcase. I'm gonna actually be traveling home for family. Your son's visiting you next month. When next month? When did I originally tell you he'd be visiting? Because you were like, really, that month? I remember you like arguing with me about it. You're like, the weather's terrible, and I'm like, well, I don't know. When I wanted to see my mom and I like was living in Wisconsin with my dad, I would like go to Texas at the worst time of the year because I wanted to see my mom. You know, like Houston's September 11th. The flight's booked. So I'm gonna say this. I feel like something might come up unexpectedly in October for travel for you. Because I don't feel like this is a visitor coming. I feel like this is you going. Can you guys hear my daughter, whatever she's watching? Can you hear that in the background? I honestly don't feel like it's business. I feel like this would be traveling home for a family thing. So I don't know if you have older relatives or something like that, but I feel like it might be a passing of an older relative or something like that. I'm just moving this because it moved on me. You can argue with me all you want. I saw a packing of a suitcase. It feels around the third week of October. And it feels sort of unexpected. So that's what I can share with you. If you want something more, where you're looking at more around work or, I do feel like you'll be leaving permanently. Maybe to go a little more south. I'm not sure exactly which country. I'm sorry. I'm not really getting like a, because it still feels like that's up in the air. Uh, maybe Albania. But it feels like moving and finding work elsewhere. So start doing this. Like, you're ready to leave, start visualizing every night before you go to bed. Visualize being in another country, visualize going to work in that other country and getting home and or having a conversation or messaging me on here and being like, I'm so excited, I got another job, I'm moving, this is where I'm moving. And pick your space and then hold to it. And anytime you see a doubt in your mind, you just be like, no, the truth is, I don't care what it looks like in my reality. I don't care how impossible it seems. The reality is anything is possible, and this is what's happening. Like, that's how you manifest, is you literally have to like look at your reality and go, I don't care what this looks like, the truth is, and you create it. And there's going to be people out there who are going to argue with you that it's not possible, but I don't know. I've had thought transmission and all of that stuff work, and things that in the past I would have thought were impossible, but never, that person would never change, that person would never do that. And then in the moment, I just like looked at them and thought, when they were behaving one way, I thought, no, the truth is, this is what's going to happen. Okay, Regine. Sorry I took so long. Do you want to ask your question quick, and then I'll just answer it? You don't have to respond. I also have, if anybody wants, I brought 2 of my decks with me, just the Oracle cards, so I have a few of them, and then I bought 2 more. I'll probably buy another deck before I leave. Regine, I also saw how many decks you have. Lady, I should not be bragging. You have an addiction. I'm kidding. I use so many decks. I was like, oh, It was humbling. You want a general? Okay. All right, so I will tell you guys what, while I'm working on, you guys can think about this. I'm gonna tell, while I'm doing Regine's reading, you guys can think about which one you have. This one is kind of cool. This is the Kali Oracle. And then when I send out the email for Sunday's reading, it's coming from this deck. It's got a very long, it's very in-depth description. This is Wisdom of Hafziz. I just think both of these decks are so pretty, and the artwork is so beautiful. I don't know if you can see the cards, the outside of the cards, the back of the cards. These are really pretty. And then I have my Inner Child ones, and then the Green Witch's Oracle. And then if you guys want to ask any general questions about, you know, the universe, what's happening in the world, pop culture, politics, whatever, you can do those too. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look this up in just a second. I think something about, I'm just writing this down. I'm gonna look up, if I don't have these cards here, give me a second. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like what's interesting with the Kali Oracle, when I grabbed it, the first time I've only shuffled it twice. Well, I mean I shuffled it a lot, but I've only like pulled 2 cards from it. And each time I shuffled in between, I actually did them on different days. I pulled the same exact card out because I pulled a card so that I can get ready for the email that needs to go out on Saturday, since I'm going to be, we're traveling back home on Saturday. So I wanted to get it all ready today. And hi, Alf. And I was actually like, I thought it was really interesting that it's like the same card came out twice. Um, let me see. Trying to see, is that the same card? Okay, let me just see if I can see the description on the card for this one I'm seeing for this, because I saw the hummingbird spirit and it just felt like looking at the oracle card from Colette Baron Reed. I'm gonna see if it says. Here it is. Okay. This is what I saw first, Regine. So then I'll give you like more. But it says the hummingbird's wings beat so swiftly it can hover in seeming stillness as it drinks deeply from a flower. Hummingbird spirit comes to remind you that the beauty and sweetness of life is in the eternal now, the timeless present. Here and now, you are becoming the person you wish to have the experiences. Hang on. You wish to be to have the experiences you wish to have. Focus your energy on the flower before you, for what you desire is being provided. Yes, there are blossoms everywhere. The choices can be dizzying. Hummingbird Spirit's message is that you have no need to go about in search of something better, for all that you require and desire is before you. You will know this as you become still, feeling your connection to Spirit, who loves you unconditionally and will always provide to you. You don't need a protection message, because that's when it's in reverse, and that's not what I was seeing. But I saw the hummingbird spirit, and then I also saw, this thing follows me or what? Then I also saw, all right, I'm sorry, I kept hearing, keep going. I had to look down what I wrote. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And I feel like even when I read that, I feel like that's really connected to you doing the readings you're doing and opening yourself up spiritually. And it may feel like it's not going anywhere or it's slower paced than you want, but it's really at the perfect timing. I think oftentimes when we're, and I really believe this about you, trusting in source and the universe providing, and having a vision and trusting that that vision can come to fruition, the patience for it to unfold in a way that will, and I hate saying like for our highest good, because the truth is like we can have whatever we want, but the patience for it to unfold in the richness that you are envisioning things happening can be hard. And I really believe that this is like kind of the way it's like, they're like, yeah, you can have whatever you want and things can come to you rapidly, but to have the patience for it to unfold like the way you would when you're, smoking a good piece of meat, but it's like it's low and slow and it takes a long time when you cook something in a smoker, and to get the richness and the flavors and the tenderness, it's sort of like being okay with that being the process. As you get further along in your spiritual practice, like there is an understanding that it's like that's just part of the practice and part of the process, and that there's nothing wrong with it, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or manifesting wrong, or maybe that's not for your highest good kind of thing, which I really think it's like silly, because like everything can be. And also what people don't understand is like sometimes when we're saying for our highest good, we don't realize that sometimes means that's not great stuff comes along with that too, because sometimes for our highest good, we need to learn through adversity. Hi, Stephanie. Sure. You can donate for a friend. So I just heard your happiness, Regina, is here and now. So I do feel like it's like, well, should I keep going with this? Should I do something else? It's like, they're like, nope, sometimes you just gotta like let it happen and let it unfold. Lady, I've been doing readings for 17 years. I mean, for so many years, and I'm not saying this is everybody's journey or process, but I've been where you're at, where like, well, I don't know, is this like what I'm supposed to be doing? I mean, think how many years I've been doing this, and I'm still like, you know, I don't have a million followers. I'm not putting the work into it that I could in other ways, but it's just the number of subscribers you have and the number of followers you have, or whatever it is, doesn't mean that you're not good at what you do, or that you're not valuable, or that you're not even better than other people at what you do, or that you're not meant to do what you do. It just is what it is, right? And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing it. I got your payment, Stephanie. I heard somebody the other day, I don't know, I'm feeling like I should like share this with you. I heard somebody the other day make this comment. I ended up blocking her. I end up blocking a lot of like spiritual people, not because I'm like, oh, they're terrible and like, but just because I'm like, oh, I don't like, this feels off. But she was like, you know, just because something doesn't like, she's like, I don't like when I hear people say it doesn't resonate with me, because you know that means that you have areas to work in. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Like, something doesn't resonate with you, it just means you're not in alignment with it, and it doesn't mean that you need to be in alignment with her. You need to move through that in order to like. It was just such a strange take, I thought. There are things that used to resonate with me that no longer resonate with me, and it's not because I'm too good for it now. It's just I'm grown in a different direction, and that's kind of what we're supposed to do. Okay, CB. Wait, you're gonna pay for a question, but that person doesn't like being wrong? I'm confused. So just keep doing what you're doing, Regine. I also, like, the laundromat thing is coming up, so I feel like there's gonna be a step in that direction too. Like, you're not gonna be doing a this or that. It really is a this and that kind of a situation. Because I feel like too, like there's something that doing those readings really fulfills you in a way that it may not financially support you like fully. But I just feel like it really sort of feeds your soul in a way that you need. Oh, in response to the person saying it doesn't resonate. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that person doesn't like being wrong. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I've also found that like when I, like there's controversies that come up on TikTok where we're like, oh my God, this person, I never seem to know what's going on when there's controversies, like where I actually have to go like figure it out. So I guess maybe that's a good thing. That means like, I'm not in alignment with all of that stuff. But, like there'll be things where people like talk about like different spiritual influencers or leaders, and I'm like, and I'll like go and look at the person. I'm like, oh, I blocked them. Like I clearly didn't like resonate with them or like them or enjoy their energy or teachings. I tend to move towards just like find what feels good and like go with that, because really the most spiritual thing you can do for yourself in this lifetime is just learn to like treat yourself kindly, speak kindly to yourself. Hi, Rakdan. Learn to have a good relationship with yourself. So you don't have to believe in something bigger than you. You don't have to, and then you end up like treating people the same way you would treat yourself. So if you're kind to yourself, you treat other people the same way, and vice versa. If you give yourself grace and room for being imperfect, then you do the same for others. I know my mom was here visiting, and stuff will come up about her mom, and her mom was not a great mom. Her mom spent 4 years in an orphanage when she was a kid during the Depression, and her dad died when she was 4 years old. And she like didn't have a lot of great parenting skills. And my mom was like, "You always defend her." I'm like, "No, Mom, I give her grace." And I also think she was undiagnosed ADHD or something. Like if you meet my family, you will see we are all. But my mom was like, you defend her a lot. And I was like, "No, Mom, I give her grace the same way I give you grace. Like it's just through doing that work, through working on what your belief systems are. And that doesn't have to be when you rebuild your belief systems and change those neural pathways. That doesn't have to be about the woo-woo and everything else. Like that isn't outside of you, but that is the most spiritual thing you could do for yourself in this lifetime. I truly believe that after having done the work, right? And I'm still doing the work. Get him to write it down. The other thing, Alf, I just noticed, and this is just something I know that there's a little bit of a language barrier, or a typing issue. I'm not sure, but the doctor wrote to take it every 14 days instead of every 10 to 14 weeks. The pharmacy should have caught that. Like really and truly, before they're filling that prescription, the pharmacy should be catching that. That's a pretty big error on their part. So I would actually make sure you bring that awareness to the pharmacy that filled it. I don't know the dosing on testosterone, to be honest with you, because I worked with kids and in acute care, so they weren't receiving things like that, or in a clinic setting. And I was usually, when I was in that setting, I was really just giving vaccines and triaging. But yeah, if you're too much testosterone, that could definitely screw you up. But get him to write it down, and then also just ask the pharmacist, like, what's the normal dosing on this? What would happen? What are the side effects? What would happen? Sometimes when you go in asking really open-ended questions, just out of curiosity, I'm just, what would happen if I, and don't act like you're gonna go after anybody. You'll get a little bit more information. But pharmacy should have definitely caught that if that's a prescription error. Okay. Stephanie, I think you paid for a question, and then I just need to see who else. So if I freeze, I freeze. Sorry, guys. Cindy, or CB, sorry. Oh, come on. Go back. There you go. Who's next? Wait, who is this for? You're next, Stephanie. Sorry, I didn't update the list. I don't have my computer, so I'm doing this from my phone and my iPad. So my iPad is so I can actually write in the chat, which I should have done, but also I can see the chat better there. Can you give me V's full name? Because I always feel like when we... Oh, you put her name on PayPal. I don't need her last name. Just give me her first name. Okay, thank you. You can go ahead and delete it. I got it. Still a pretty general name. It's not that. Okay, thank you. I can't access PayPal as easily because I don't have because I'm actually filming from my phone instead of my computer. Just want my hair to dry with a little bit of not slick to my head. Okay. I'm just going to ask you a couple questions if maybe you can get her to answer these for her. I feel very dizzy in her energy, and also like my eyes hurt. Does she need a new prescription, or did she just recently get a new prescription for her eyes? Or and the dizziness almost feels like, I almost feel a little nauseous too. Maybe dehydration or blood sugar issues. And also like she likes things just so. Because I'm like, I feel like I'm working my hands over a crease to make sure it just lies just so and just flat. Like it's like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just like just liking things just so. Sort of like nothing for the eyes, not that I know of. Okay. I'm going to say this because I felt it like this. It might be time for her to get an eye exam, or if she notices something, like I just feel like it might be time for an eye exam, or maybe a different prescription or something. Does she wear glasses or contacts? Or does she need reading glasses? There's just something there. She might need to get her eyes checked. Like, or it's just like, it felt like my eyes were strained. That's the best way I can explain it. It just feels like the muscles in my eyes are strained. So maybe she needs reading glasses. Maybe she needs something. I would just share that with her. I feel like, so I'm asking her what's the future, what's like going on at the workplace, what's the future of it. I almost feel very isolated. So I don't know if she's physically isolated from other people, or if they've isolated, or she feels very isolated, like it's her against everybody else, or her against somebody else. Does that resonate when I say that feeling of being isolated? Does she have panic attacks? So I feel like this is making me really like, it's interesting. I don't feel like I'm getting fired. I don't feel like I'm going anywhere. I feel like I'm here, but I also feel like I'm really in my head a lot and worried a lot. And I don't want to say it's needless, but it's like sort of like needing to create a different story. Around that. I do feel like in the next 2 to 3 months, a change up is coming. So I don't know if it's that the bosses are leaving, or there's like her working under a new team or a new group. Does she work in groups, or is there like, I just feel like her boss is leaving in a couple months. It could be she has a manager and then somebody over. It's like I feel like whoever's directly in charge of her is leaving in a couple of months. It doesn't feel like it's expected. It feels like they end up getting another job or moving for something, or she works in a group of 3 with a manager. Okay. So I don't know if it's so here's the thing. Let me put it this way. I don't know if that manager is leaving or if she's moving to a new group, but she's not going anywhere. And I feel like once this change happens, it feels much better. I almost feel like whoever's currently in charge of her right now creates this triangulation effect between people. They either are incredibly insecure, or they feel like this is a good way to keep people like really trying to work and fight for their job and do a better job. Like, it's a weird, twisty way of thinking. like it's this idea of like creating scarcity so that people think that like if they don't, it just really creates a not cohesive environment. It's not even a real thing. Like really and truly, like whatever that is, it's like it's not real. It's made up by this person. The energy, like that triangulation thing, it's like it's not even real. It doesn't even actually exist. I actually feel like if that wasn't happening, she and the coworkers would get along fabulously. And really work well together. But I feel like she's being isolated out. So that's the thing is like, I don't know if it's a change in the company, like where they decide to make another group and they move her to it because she's a better fit there, or if I'm not getting a solid like exactly how, but I feel like I have a different manager. I have a different way that I'm set up, and it's not a bad thing. I hope so. But she's not the problem. So I feel like she needs to kind of get that in her head. So I really believe our beliefs create our reality. Um, I mean, I like cannot even, how many things have like proven to be true using this belief system. So it's like this idea of like, stop worrying that she's the problem or she's going to get fired all the time. Just sort of like be like, it doesn't matter what the 3D looks like. I'm good. I'm not the problem. Everything's going to find balance and I'm in a good spot. I don't have to worry about losing my job. Hi, Rothka. Still trying to get this thing to work. I'm bring it back because it smells good and it's a pretty penny. Maybe they give me a different bottle or something. Okay, CB, what's your question? I'm focusing on the positive and thinking beyond. You're welcome, Stephanie. Tell your friend. I hope it gets better. I know it will, but okay, so I'm focusing on the positive and thinking beyond the divorce in terms of relocation. I'd be searching for another home within a year and want to know what will be different about this home. So much. Like the very first thing I saw, clear, go away. Lighting, it feels cleaner. So I'm not saying that your house isn't clean now, but like energetically, it feels cleaner and brighter. I feel like it's one story, but there's an office or something where you don't have that now. And I don't know if it's like an attached, like it has the potential for also having a business, but the living space is one floor. I also just feel like it'll feel more like your home. So I feel like there's aspects of the home you're in now that never really felt like your home. It felt like it was catering to your ex and trying to make him feel safe at the expense of like you really feeling like you can fully express who you are. And even though he's not living there anymore, it still feels attached energetically to that. You have a basement office. So it feels like, I don't know, I just feel like I have something where it's different. It's more, I don't know. Maybe the office is in like a separate little building in the garage or something. I don't know. There's something different about that. And I also, again, I feel like it's a one story. I don't feel like I have a whole bunch of different, so it's like a ranch or something like that. I do feel like it's maybe on a little bit busier of a street. I mean, obviously you'll have multiple bedrooms because you need that for your kids, right? Yeah, you'll have more than two. I don't think it's gonna be huge or anything. I feel like maybe 3 bedrooms. And they said potential for 4, so I don't know, but I don't feel like your office is like in your home. There's a separateness about it, like on the property, but like there's a separateness, like where it's like, I don't know. I don't feel like you'll have to worry about him running. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I don't feel like you have to worry about him running. Yes, like a woman cave. I also feel like a little bit larger of a backyard than you have now, because I do see a swing set or jungle gym of sorts. Yeah. I don't feel like he'll want to do that. So I don't fully understand like how it's set up that you don't have to worry about that, but I feel like he will actually feel more connected energetically to that home and really enjoy it. For Elijah, I feel like is he starting like swim therapy or aqua therapy or something like that? Because I see that around him. Do you have something going on with your right leg, by the way? Because I was like rubbing my leg. I'm like, why am I doing this? Yeah, I feel like he'll be starting that. I don't think this is, so I think this is more in the future. I don't think this is anytime soon of either having some kind of like a whirlpool or a pool on your property. But I don't feel like this is anytime soon. And I do feel like that's intentional, like having the room to have it, but not intentionally doing it just yet and waiting till the boys are a little bit older. It feels like a conscious safety choice, but like wanting to have that for them, but not just yet. You might do it at home, the aqua therapy at home. But I just feel like there's either going to be like a whirlpool or a smaller pool on your property, but not yet. This is down the road several years, because I feel like wanting the boys to have that, but not just yet, because it does feel like a little bit of a playset will be now. Like when you get the new playset feels now. There's a fly in here that came in when we first got here, and it's just happily hanging out. So if you see it, I know some people have their superstitions about flies and what they mean and evil eyes and stuff like that, but I I don't know. I tend not to like even consider those things. I just feel like I'm well protected, and like even if somebody's trying to like peep in energetically, like go for it. You're not bothering me. Yeah. The feeling I get too is like it's not as far away as you think, distance wise. Okay. Should we do the card readings? You guys want to do card readings now? Who wants what deck? I've got the Wisdom of the Half Seas, the Green Witch's Oracle deck, Inner Child, and the Kali Oracle. You're very welcome. Okay. Wisdom of the Half Seas. How did I know you'd want the Kali deck, Rothka? It was like immediate, like I bet she wants that. Okay, so I'm just gonna write down. I said Hafiz, but it's Hafiz. Or Hafiz? I don't know. Who's that? Who else wants one? They're free. You don't have to pay for them. It's like I've met you. I know, it's crazy. All right. All right, so we'll do CB first, and then if anybody else wants to chime in. What card does CB need today? And then I will be back Sunday morning, reminder, instead of the afternoon, just because I'll look for my email on Saturday, because we are going to be watching Jaws at the time I normally do readings. And oh, that just popped out. Look at that. Invite Peace, number 29. Can you see this one? Invite Peace, number 29. This one. So it says, every moment and sound we make in some real way is a prayer call, inviting the holy to wed ever and ever more deeply with us. It's time to make peace your number one priority. And in order to do that, you must relinquish all desires to be right or good or even understood. Peace surpasses all thought and understanding because it comes from beingness. B-E-I-N-G-N-E-S-S. Why? This keeps moving. Do you guys notice it keeps moving? Or am I moving? Am I moving? Okay, sorry. There is no right and wrong in this moment, only the space between knowing and accepting all as it is. That is that one. Isn't that crazy how always the right one comes out? I think. Fabulous. There's 5 of you here, all right? So if anybody, all 5 of you, if anybody wants one, come on, get a free reading. All right. This one is for Rothka. What does Rothka need to know in this moment? Get ready, because these are like, this one is long-winded. Okay. All right. This one. Okay. Oh, this one's pretty. This isn't your card, but it's pretty. I just wanted to show you. Sorry. Okay. This one is your card. It's Nitya Kali. Nitya Kali. Okay. That's number 30. Okay, it says, oh wait, let me go get my reading glasses because this is a lot of reading and my eyeballs keep twisting. Give me a second. much better. All right, she calls us away from the world to journey inward where a path of sacred introversion beckons. Turning within may feel natural or unfamiliar. But in journeying you will gain energy, insight, and freedom from the constraints of what has been. Allow that which needs to end to do so. You shall realize you are not being denied, but released. There is something new on the horizon. Honor your losses, but keep hope in your heart for what is meant to be. Kali Nitya is the cycle of the waning moon, from the moment just after the height of the full moon into a phase of decline, right up until the black moon just before the new moon initiates the building of a fresh cycle. This moon phase embodies the natural magic inherent in letting go and allowing for energies to run their course and die away. It can be a sign to embrace the qualities of decrease with a period to bring a cycle of experience to completion and generate what is necessary for the next cycle to be more abundant and nourishing than the last. Given our societal preoccupation with constant activity and outwardly driven connection, honoring Nitya Kali, I might be saying that wrong, requires the use of our will to honor our soul rhythms above peer pressure. There can be resistance to embracing the crumbling away of a form once cherished, yet in doing so, we can give proper burial, allowing for cleansing emotions, perhaps anger, sadness, loss, or grief in the face of betrayal, disappointment, or confusion, to move through the soul. Then the space for higher understanding, healing, and even forgiveness and gratitude for what has been learned can open up. Peace and release follow, and soon after, a readiness for the new. To hold space in the liminal or between times when something is no longer and the superior evolution beyond a mere replacement is yet to be, requires wisdom and courage. Inner processes need to take place beneath a cover of darkness, privacy, and sanctuary. You do not need to parade your processes before others, nor prove anything to anyone. This is a time of natural inward motion and decline. It is healthy and can be enjoyable, relished as a chance to clear out and free yourself from unnecessary burdens of mind and body. If you are not used to letting go or believe you must constantly be on, then this is a chance to expand your psychological and emotional vocabulary. Allow for the divine feminine wisdom of the soul to do what it does so well. Provide the method and process for healing transformations. If you are used to controlling everyone and everything, consider this a chance to step back and allow others to develop their power and responsibility. Nitya Kali's message is to give yourself time and space to truly let go. As this ending is divinely intended, you shall receive abundant blessings that will more than replace any loss or suffering you have experienced through the conclusion of a life phase. If you have been in a period of loss or grief, the oracle indicates that this is coming to an end, likely sooner than you realize. And yet you are invited to allow it to find its completion naturally, rather than trying to rush it to an ending. The oracle also predicts a closure about a matter of deep soul healing. Trust yourself and your divine timing. You will instinctively sense when you are ready to put the sad days behind you and embrace the beginning of a happier time. No matter how unlikely that seems at this time, sorry, my eye is like, it will happen naturally, as sure as spring follows winter. The oracle asks you to give the more challenging emotions such as grief and sadness proper honor and place. Do not avoid them, but do not allow them to consume your entire being, or believe that they shall rule your life. If you feel your hands are tied and you are unable to exert your will in the world at this time, do not fret. Often, before a time of significant fruition, there is a period when nothing much seems to be happening. You are attending to your inner work and strengthening your vision and intention. But where is this evidence and result of your hard work? It is building within the soul, just as powerful energies build unseen within the seed, ready to bring forth with unexpected and astonishing strength and vibrancy when the time is right. Let go of force, but do not give it given to despair or a feeling of defeat. Any cycle of withholding back or lack of external support for your inner work will end, followed by a new era of divinely mandated manifestation. Invocation ritual. Place your hands in prayer before your heart. Take a moment to connect within. Imagine, sense, feel, or intend that you are dropping peacefully and deeply into a vast inner spaciousness. As you go within, following the inhalation and dropping deeper on the exhalation, feel yourself effortlessly letting go of the external world and any day-to-day concerns. You are crossing the inner threshold into sacred introversion and healing presence. Say the following prayer out loud. This is at 1 hour and 26 minutes, so if you want to go back to it, you can come back to it. Je me Kali, I think it's French. Je ma Kali, it's Jaima Kali. Please bless me with your sacred holding and protection, that I may willingly enter your depths to be undone and reborn. I let go of my outer attachments and become free to journey within, into the sacred depths where your wisdom can reach. I fully and gratefully receive your subtle inner infusions of grace, healing, and cosmic realignment for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Ja me Kali. Je ma Kali. I still don't know how to say that, so do with it what you want, what you feel called to. Finish with your hands in prayer at your heart. Rest for a long time, as long as you wish, in an empty and open contemplative state with her. You have completed your sacred ritual of invocation. I'm like dizzy from reading that. Okay, anybody else want a card reading? Feel called to it? An angel card again. I don't have the angel cards this time, so this is what I have since I'm not at my house. I have the Kali Oracle cards. I have the Green Witch Oracle deck. I have the Inner Child, and I have the Wisdom of Hafiz, or Hafiz, however you say it. You're welcome, Rothka. It seems, I want to say this too, when we think of endings, it doesn't mean endings completely. It just means endings of patterns even too. And so those patterns break away and bring in beginnings. The Inner Child. All right. This card is Elf. Elf need to know in this moment. That's how you heard it also. Okay, great. This keeps moving. What on earth? Bear with me. Oh no. Oh no, it's dying. Oh no. Here, we're gonna do it this way. I guess that doesn't hold battery power for that long. Okay, I'm gonna sit like this. Let me get out of that. Let me turn so that way I'm not, the light's not. Let me go turn those lights off so that they're not like creating weird. Oh, whatever, it's fine. We'll just do it. We're almost done anyway. Okay, terrible angle. Let me lift it up and see if we can get a better angle. Nope. All right, let's see how that works. Okay. Gotta do what you can. This is about being flexible in the moment. All right. This is for Alf. What does Alf need to know right now? What would be the most beneficial for Alf in this moment? Flip the deck. Take the bottom. Okay. All right, Alf. Practice freedom. Release the weight of judgment. Get these readers on. Judgments that we or others have placed upon ourselves can shackle us, stealing our joy and will to fully embody our life. It is a heavy burden to carry the weight of judgment, and it can keep us trapped in a cycle of fear and blame. If you have pulled this card, it might be time to consider whether you are being held prisoner by judgments. Inner work exercise. Take some time today to reflect on the beliefs that you hold about yourself or your inner child. Write down as many core beliefs as you can, and then review your statements for signs and patterns of judgmental beliefs. A good way to do this is to speak these statements out loud and then focus on the feelings and sensations you experience afterward. On a separate page, write down all these statements that did not leave you feeling empowered and hopeful. Now is the time to dig a little deeper. Where did these beliefs come from? Why do you believe this is true about yourself or your inner child? If you release these beliefs, are you afraid something might happen? Are parts of your identity built around these beliefs? Answering these questions can help you understand where these judgmental beliefs came from and why they might have been hesitant to go. Now is the time to counter them. Write down the opposite statements to these judgmental beliefs. Say them aloud and see how you feel. Do you feel empowered, hopeful, or full? If so, then there is a truth here that needs to be spoken. Responsive journaling prompt. How does it feel to speak words of truth and freedom over yourself now? Okie doke. That is your card. Hi, Devry. You want a free card pull? How are you doing? And do you have any questions about what's going on in the world today? Because we're kind of towards the end of this. It's good to see you. So I'll show you the cards I have if you want a free card pull. Oracle card. I've got this deck, the inner child. Hang on. My thing that was holding my phone needs to be charged. The wisdom of the Hafiz. Anyone is fine. There's the Green Witch Oracle. You pick. And this is Kali. How have you been? Number 2. Oh shoot, what did I say twice? This, which one did I say second? This one? Hang on. I don't remember what I said first or second. This is Wisdom of the Hafiz. I think that's the one I said second. This one. Yeah? And then the other one was, because I think I said Inner Child first, because that's the one I had used recently. Yes, that one. Okay. And then the other one was the Green Witch Oracle deck. Do you have any questions you want to ask about the universe? I'm sorry you've been struggling. And by that I mean political or whatever. You usually have some good questions. All right, so this is for Devry. Don't you start making noises. Sorry. This is for Devry. What does Devry need to know in this moment that would be the most beneficial for her to hear? Take that one, stick it out. 34, take the opportunity. Every moment on the earth's amorous body says, make love to me, and the sky says that too. Gosh, what are we waiting for? Opportunity comes knocking. Your job is to open the door and discover the adventure that awaits beyond it. The sun and sky seek your yes, and the world will change because of the risks you take. You are a creator, and you came here to explore the possibilities. Even if it doesn't turn out exactly as you planned, this is a game-changing moment. Seize it. That's also on page 77. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? It says 77. It won't focus, but that's what it says. Oh, I don't mind celebrity questions. I think, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I kind of did. I don't know. Whatever. We can do them. I actually feel like they're in it for the long haul. There's something about 7 years, so I don't know if it's a change happens within their marriage at 7 years. But there's a change at 7 years, so I don't know. Maybe they're moving. Maybe it feels like there'll be a little bit of a shakeup, but I feel like they're kind of in it for the long haul. Honestly, they really do kind of match energy. I do feel like she'll have kids, but I don't feel like I don't know that she'll have her own. Meaning, I don't know that she'll actually. I feel like she may carry one, and if there's more, I feel like she might have a surrogate. And I feel like that's more around some difficulties with pregnancy, not like out of vanity. I feel like she'll be a really good mom, honestly. You know, I know a lot of people. I mean, there's mixed emotions about her, right? For a lot of people, being a billionaire and maybe not being more vocal on certain things. I don't know. Listen, I feel like for presidents, I can't say for sure because I swear I thought Kamala was going to win. I mean, I still think she did win. I don't feel like there's been that much of a shakeup. So I feel like it's like I don't have like a good grip on it. I know Gavin Newsom's kind of sort of making everybody's like, oh, he'll be president or whatever. I don't know that he will be. I do feel like for sure there's going to be another woman in the White House, but I know years ago I said 2. So it may be that in the coming period things happen where we really see some women and coming forward and really taking more of a stand. I definitely feel like 2026 is going to be a big shakeup politically. So not resolved, but definitely improved. But that's not for a while yet. That's not until like the 2030s, that decade, where we really start to see some shifts and changes in social services and things like that, reworking them and kind of bringing more social services to help people. But I do see that coming along with, universal health care. And I've said that for years now, and you know that, so. No, schools will never go fully remote. That I got right away. Never ever. Because there's benefit to the social interaction that they'll get, and children need that, especially when they're small. And also, there's societal benefits to having school, right? So, but no, it'll never be fully remote. Will aliens still reveal themselves in 2026? I heard, yeah. I don't, it's not that I don't believe in aliens. I just think humans are so fucking messy that, like, I also think they're probably walking around with us. It's like, more than people realize. did I say 2026 for a reveal, or did somebody else? I really wish, oh, maybe that's why it won't work. Maybe I gotta shorten this. Someone else, yeah. I've never really felt 2026. I mean, please. We're still trying to figure out how to vote for people that care about us. I mean, humans are so averse to, I really like the way this smells. I'm gonna have to go get this exchange. Humans are so averse to people that are people of color. Like, I mean, look at what, you know, it's like, there's still so much racism. We're gonna make it more of a species thing now. Like, hi, Ange. I don't know. I don't think humans are really ready for aliens just yet. I'm just gonna hold this. No, you know what, I've closed donations. We're just doing general readings now. Like what's going on in the world kind of things, or you can do celebrity stuff or political stuff, whatever, that's fine. But I'll be doing readings again, Ange, on Sunday, but in the morning instead of my regular 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you are not subscribed to my email list, you should subscribe to it. You can, you know, I usually just do 1 email a week. But I include a little tarot reading or an oracle card reading in it. And you can download my 5 free manifesting tips if you want, so all of that stuff. Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. We're not ready for aliens yet. And I also think it's this weird idea that people are like, the aliens are gonna rescue us. I'm like, no, not really. Like, I've never felt like that was the case. I never felt like somebody outside of us was gonna rescue us or save us from our own stupidity, that we just have to do that ourselves. It's our jobs to right our wrongs and to fix our problems. It's not some other species. And maybe they've stopped nuclear disaster, but I also think that some of that is just this existential thing they like to loom over us, like, look how dangerous we are, because they all know they're not gonna like screw all of us. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, some of it I just think is posturing silliness. You have little hope that we'll be safe from our own stupidity. I think that we will be. I really do. Even though it seems really scary right now, I still feel like very much like things are actually working in our favor. Bruce Willis's health. I mean, he's deteriorating. I feel like I keep getting, like, I think he's like 70 now. 74 seems pretty significant for him. I feel like I just feel like he might pass around 74. I don't like to say that. It's like, I just don't, like, the way I'm seeing it is like somebody who's, like, he'll be nonverbal and around for a while before he actually passes. I think he can, my feeling is he can still eat and do those things. And I feel like they're showing me a G button, which is like a button inside the tummy where then you would put a food in for tube feeding. And I feel like it might come to the point where they talk about that and then decide against it, or they put it, I don't know, or they put it in. So I feel like they might start thickening his foods a little bit. Like, he might have some, before that happens, like assistance with food differences. I feel like it might come to the point where they talk about a G button or they put one in. It's like, I don't know. Gay marriage in the Supreme Court. I feel like it gets kicked around a little bit, but they end up not touching it. it's a feeling of like, they may try to kick it back to the States. Oh, my family's home, so I'm gonna have to go. They may try to, because I'm right out in the middle where it's not private, so. All right, I'm gonna go. They may, I'll email you about it, but they may try to kick it back to the States, but it feels like it goes nowhere for them. I don't feel like they're gonna just get rid of it. That's what I feel. Okay, but I'm gonna go. I will see y'all on Sunday. Bye.